Hello, everybody. This is Serena Ashcroft with Parents United. Today, I just want to talk to you about how to file a formal grievance. Now, this is a new territory for a lot of us parents. You know, we're not used to doing these kinds of things. If we have an issue with the school or some issue that comes up with our kids, usually we email the teacher or the principal. It gets resolved pretty quickly. However, with everything going on, you know, all of us parents that are not in agreement with our kids having to wear masks to school, being forced to sit away from their friends. You know, they're not allowed the same things as as just in last year, the same opportunities. And, you know, we don't like sending them to school in masks, and the isolation measures and the cleaning products that they're using, all of these things that are going on in school. It really has created a very different environment in school, and it's not good for our kids. And you know, our kids are suffering and struggling in a variety of ways. So the best thing to do is we file a formal grievance with the school. This is so important because, you know, usually we send an email to the teacher or principal, they resolve it, but we need to file the formal grievance so it shows that it's been recorded with the school. This is our opportunity to meet with the principal about the issue, to share our complaint. You know, it's a 20 or 30-minute interview and discussion with the principal, and then it's recorded. We file our complaint, the principal responds, and so forth. But I cannot tell you how important it is to file a formal grievance. Many parents need to do this in order to get it on file and on record, the issues we are having with the masks. The main issue is we don't want to have to send our kids to school in masks. We know it's causing them harm. They deserve to go to school without being forced to put that medical device on their face. And so here we go. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to share my screen, and let's see here. Okay. So this process is so important. It's just right here. Let me show you the U.S. Constitution. Okay, right here. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and ta-da, to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Okay, we as citizens of the United States can petition our government for a redress of grievances. And so this is our opportunity to file a formal grievance with the school and get our issue taken care of. It's on record, and we can get this taken care of. So let me show you. Right here is our school, the formal grievance right here. This level 1, as you can see, it's a level 1 grievance. I just Googled it, found it on the internet. You can get it from your school's, whoop, my phone just dropped. You can get it from your the district office. It might be on the website. You can Google the form. It's a level 1 grievance. Now, this is where what I did was I just filled it all out, and then I attached a letter on the back of everything. I attached a letter of everything that's happened, and I dropped it off. I hand delivered it to the secretary. Okay, you can also email it over, but I just made a copy of it and I emailed it and I dropped it off. So there's a level 2 as well. When you meet with the principal, if they deny your grievance, you'll go to a level 2 where you'll meet with the superintendent or the assistant superintendent. And there's a level 3. That's where you'll go before the school board. So let's go through the process here really quickly. Back here. So your level 1 grievance, what kinds of things do you type up in your grievance? I'll tell you, a couple examples. In my particular situation, my children have to wear masks and face shields. They're not allowed to, in order to sing for choir. The fine arts, for some reason, are far more strict than football. Football's allowed to be played, volleyball, basketball, no masks. They're allowed to do their activity normally. Parents can attend the games, but they put their masks on after. But fine arts, they're not allowed to sing unless they have a mask or face shield on. And they couldn't even take their class photo yesterday. They had to have a mask over their face for their class photo because they're standing next to each other. They can't perform in front of parents. for some reason, the fine arts is being extra strict. So my grievance, I filed it back in September, involved masks in school. My children have had headaches, loss of concentration, especially my daughter plays a violin. You know, she's not able to play and do her normal activities because the mask is on her face. I've asked for masks to be optional when they sit down, you know, allow some flexibility to when they sit down, play their instrument, sing their music, and then they can put their mask back on when they go to another class or in the hallways. I've asked for some flexibility here, and that sort of thing. I also explained to them, you know, just the other issues my kids have been experiencing. My daughter was sent home from school because she was not wearing her mask in a class. And so she was sent home from school for the whole day. So I've addressed mask being part of the dress code, which is against the Texas Education Code, that there's a conflict there between the dress code and there's a conflict between the Texas Education Code, which prohibits masks over faces. They call it a prohibited aversive technique because it can cause the kid significant harm and pain. So that was also part of my grievance, is the kids are, you know, that's against the Texas Education Code. You can't force a child to wear masks to school. It needs to be up to them, up to the parents. It's a medical device. They are engaging in the unlicensed practice of medicine. It's against the U.S. Constitution, the Texas Bill of Rights, and so forth. So I put these things in my grievance. Let me give you a couple other examples. I had a mom reach out to me. Her child cut his ear severely because of the mask. It had worn so much on his ear that it had cut, was cut. It had cut through his ear. Poor boy who's only 8 years old, and it cut through his ear. I mean, that's a serious medical thing that happened to him because of the mask. And, you know, he was wearing a gator mask that was looser before. However, the school said it keeps falling down. He needs a tighter mask. So the mom gives him one that fits better, but it kept eating into his ear. Poor boy. And so file a grievance with the school. The mask is causing my child harm. Okay. This should not be allowed. Okay. It needs to be a choice for the child, whether the parents wanted to send him to school or not. You can file a grievance for bullying, harassment, any issues that you're experiencing. It needs to be recorded and documented right now. And I can't stress how important that is. I had a parent, but here's another thing you need to be aware of. It has to be filed within 15 days, typically, of whenever the incident occurred. So if something happened in September, they're going to deny your grievance. So it's important that you file these things timely. Whenever the issue happened, you need to file it within 2 weeks of that issue happening, okay? And then you type it up, you drop it off at the school, and then they have 7 to 10 days to respond to you and have a time where you can meet. Then after that, once you meet, they have 7 days again to respond back to you, either deny it or approve it. Typically they'll deny it, and then you go to level 2. I just met with the district superintendent, and now I get to meet before the school board. Level 3, I get to meet in front of the school board at either a school board meeting or with the school board. It's going to be recorded, and then if they once again deny it, then we're at level 4, and that's where you get to meet with the TEA. And I'm really anxious to get to level 4 so I can meet with the TEA, because I know in Texas right now, each school district, of course, is saying that well, the reason we have masks in place is because we're following Governor Abbott's mandate. Okay, well, that mandate, as we know, and Parents United and all over Texas, we know that that mandate is unconstitutional. Look up Texas State Bill of Rights, Section 1, Article 1, Sections 19, 29, 28. Look those up. Make that part of your grievance, okay? You cannot deny a child an education. You cannot deny them liberty, privileges, immunities to any citizen, okay? Also, in the Texas Bill of Rights, it states that no law, the governor, no authority can make law that violates any of these Bill of Rights or the U.S. Constitution. So right there, him just telling everybody they have to put a mask over their face violates one's own liberties and choice for themselves. It violates the Texas Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution. So it is in and of itself unconstitutional. No health emergency supersedes the Texas State Constitution and Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Constitution. No health emergency, okay? So we're 8 months into this, and we still have masks in place. If you don't want to send your child in a mask, it's causing them harm. They've had an issue at school with it. They're struggling with breathing. They have headaches, loss of concentration. File that grievance with your school, okay? This is super, super important. So once you get to, again, level 3 school board, level 4 with the TEA, again, I'm anxious to get there. So reach out to me at Serena at unmaskedtexas.com. You can send me an email there. Find me on YouTube, Parents United. We also have several Facebook groups, and you know, we've got to work together as parents. I cannot stress enough to you guys. This is time. These are our kids we're talking about. Our kids are being harmed by isolation in school. I asked my own kids, they've loved school in the past. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, the kids 9 and 10, they like school a lot. This year, we're talking 4 and 5. That's how much school has changed. It's a totally different environment. It's, there's a lot of bullying and harassment that goes on with the constantly telling them to put their mask up and down all the time. The kids need to breathe. I mean, they should be able to take their mask off whenever they need to in class. Scheduled bathroom breaks, breathing breaks. I mean, this is all ridiculous. We should be filing hundreds of these grievances for the school. And if we did that, these schools would listen, change their policy, but too many people, I'm shocked at the amount of people. Well, I haven't done it yet. I haven't filed my grievance yet. I haven't done it yet. Guys, if we want to take any action, this is so, so important. This is how we get redress for our grievances. It's in the Constitution. This is the state law that we file these with our schools so we can have these issues resolved. Okay, so please file your grievance, reach out with any questions. We've got to work together for our kids in order to change this for them. Okay, so have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon.